Hey there, today we are going to talk about a secret weapon for your garden, and you'll never guess where it comes from. We're going to turn a common kitchen scrap into what's basically a gift from the sea for your plants. Seriously, this could completely transform your garden. Okay, let's start with something I'm sure a lot of you have seen. You feel like you're doing everything right, you're watering, you're making sure they get sunlight, you're even fertilizing, but your plants just look sad. They're struggling. Do any of these signs on the screen ring a bell? Yeah, things like yellowing leaves, stunted growth, maybe the fruit just drops right off. These aren't just random problems. They're actually urgent SOS signals from your plants, and they're usually pointing to a hidden issue, something deep down in the soil. But here's the cool part. The solution might literally be hiding in your kitchen trash can right now. All right, section 1, a surprising gift from the sea. So, what is this secret weapon? We are talking about oyster shells, and no, not as something you throw away, but as this incredibly powerful, all-natural supplement for your soil. So, it turns out these shells are just packed with good stuff. Their main ingredient is calcium carbonate, but they also have a ton of other trace minerals. It makes them this almost perfect tool for building a healthy foundation for your plants. It's not just about feeding them, it's about fundamentally changing the soil for the better, so your plants can really take off. Okay, let's get into the science of it. Section 2, the science of shells. So how in the world does a seashell help a plant? Well, it all comes down to 3 key benefits that directly fix those SOS signals we were talking about. First up, they adjust the soil's pH. This is a big one. You see, a lot of soil, especially in places with a lot of rain, gets too acidic. And when that happens, it's like the nutrients get locked away in a safe that the plant's roots can't open. What oyster shells do is gently neutralize that acid. They create the perfect pH balance so the plant can actually absorb all the good stuff in the soil, and it's way gentler than dumping a bunch of chemicals on it. Next, it's all about the calcium. This is huge. Think of it like giving your plants a skeleton, stronger bones. This calcium builds strong cell walls, which means sturdier stems and tougher leaves. And it directly prevents those really frustrating problems like blossom end rot on your tomatoes, where the bottom of the fruit just turns black and mushy. Awful. And it's not just about the calcium, which is what makes this so cool. The shells are also full of all these other little trace minerals. Iron, manganese, zinc. These things basically supercharge photosynthesis and wake up all the beneficial microbes in the soil. And that is what gives you that rich, dark, fluffy, living soil that plants absolutely love. All right, you ready to give this a shot? Section 3, your step-by-step guide. Let's get our hands dirty. Now sure, you can buy this stuff pre-made, but where's the fun in that? Here's how you can take the shells from your own kitchen and turn them into garden gold. Okay, now listen up, because if you're using your own shells, this part is absolutely crucial. You have to wash them, get all the gunk off, then you've got to get the salt out, boil them or soak them for a few days. Don't skip this because salt will kill your plants. Then dry them out and give them a quick toast in a pan to sterilize everything. Finally, the fun part, stick them in a tough bag and go to town with a hammer. And seriously, the finer you can get it like a powder, the faster it's going to start working its magic. So, how much do you actually need? Well, here's the crazy part. A little goes a long, long way. For pots and planters, which is perfect if you've got a balcony garden, the magic number is about 1 handful. We're talking 30 to 50 grams for every 10 liters of soil. That's it. Okay, so you've got your powder, now what? Just measure it out based on that guideline, mix it really, really well into your potting soil, and then you wait. This is the pro tip right here. Patience. Let that soil mix just sit for a week or 2 before you plant anything. This gives the shells time to do their thing and stabilize the pH. It creates this perfect, cozy new home for your plant's roots. All right, section 4, decoding plant SOS signals. So you've added the shells. You've been patient. But what if you're still seeing some problems? It's time to become a plant detective. Because believe it or not, it's not always about calcium. Yellow leaves are a classic, but they can mean a few different things. You have to look at the details. Where are the leaves yellow? Is it the older ones at the bottom? That's probably a nitrogen problem. Are the veins staying green but the rest of the leaf is yellow? That could be a magnesium deficiency. This chart is your cheat sheet to figure out what's really going on and how to fix it. Same thing with fruit, just falling off the plant. It's so frustrating. But the plant is just trying to tell you something's wrong. Sure, if the bottom of the fruit is rotting, that's our old friend, calcium deficiency. But what if the flowers just fall off? That could be a pollination problem, especially on a balcony where there aren't many bees. Or sometimes the plant is just like, whoa, I can't handle all this fruit, and you actually need to help it out by thinning some of them. And to really make sure you nail this, here are a few final pro tips. These are the golden rules. First, if you can, test your soil pH before you add anything. It's super easy. Second, remember, oyster shells are soil conditioners, not a complete meal. You still need a good fertilizer for things like nitrogen and potassium. And last, but definitely not least, do not use this on plants that love acidic soil like blueberries or azaleas. You'll make them very unhappy. So really, here's what it all boils down to. When you improve the soil's foundation with something like oyster shells, you're not just force-feeding the plant. You're unlocking its own natural, inherent power to be strong, to absorb what it needs, and to just thrive. And that really gets you thinking, doesn't it? What other stuff are we just throwing in the trash that could be a hidden treasure for our gardens? It's a fun thing to think about. Thanks so much for digging into this with me today.